What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Greetings wherever you are. I've had enough. I heard there was a dust up over Janet Jackson supposedly making a statement, keyword statement, that Kamala Harris was not black and that her father was white. But this is the last straw. Now, why are they coming after Janet? I don't know. Maybe she's on the verge behind the scenes. Maybe they're looking at the data in the music industry. Maybe she's poised to go stratospheric again. There was a real effort to try to shut down the dominance of Michael and Janet back in the day. Um, they there was rumblings in the music industry because they were so dominant. They already had a problem with Michael dominating. And then when Janet rose, then it was a problem. And that's one of the reasons why, or the reason why they made such a big deal of the Super Bowl incident where Justin Timberlake is supposed to rip off a part of her costume, but her breast fell out, her right breast, which by the way had a pasty on the areola. So there was no nipple to be seen. And it was literally a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second. How do I know this? Because I was alive then. But I also recorded it and I watched the playback and I didn't even see it until the news report was like, oh my God, the malfunction, Janet Jackson. I was like, wait, I watched it, I recorded it. And I had literally had to go back and watch my own video. That's how quick it was. If you blinked, you wouldn't have seen it. And they shut it. They made such a big deal. Oh my God. And now suddenly you have to have a 5 second delay or more. And all of this. And she had to apologize. And it was all this, man. And I didn't appreciate it because in my mind at that time, and still now, not know, not reflecting at that time on the bigger conspiracy, I was just in the thought uh, pattern of, well, just because a black woman's breast was shown for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second, that was a problem. Anybody else could be parading around with their ugly ass, nasty ass titties out that don't nobody even want to look at. But one black woman's breast almost was seen by humanity and it had a problem. What also still itches my ass about that whole incident is I wish Janet had said, um, that wasn't even part of the show. He just reached over and ripped my costume and really just throw it back on him. You feel me? Because his racist Tennessee born ass never ever apologized to Janet or even stood up for her and tried to say, look, this was totally an accident. This is not who she is, etc., etc. He was so, uh, it was such a privilege for him to even be on the same stage as my wife. Do you understand what I'm telling you? He will never have the career of Janet Jackson, ever, ever. And then to throw salt in the wound, when he came out with his solo album, we noticed all the Zionist puppet heads on mainstream media were saying, it sounds kind of like Michael Jackson. There was nothing about that album that sounded like Michael Jackson at all. This is how these demonic people operate, everybody. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention because when you know what I know, you don't even give them a good morning or a grin. You got nothing for them at all. At all. Because you don't smile at the devil. I don't. So why now is this such a brouhaha? This is our question. This is what we must interrogate and prosecute. But this is the last straw. This no-neck, pork-eating, fat Christian, this thing that sits before you, is highly paid by the Democratic National Committee, I believe. I believe. Why do I believe that? Because he is caping so hard. And when you really watch and pay attention, one gets the sense this is not organic, that it is uh, a deliberate pursuit. He is caping so hard. I just know they sending him a check. I just know it. Have I seen the check? No. Have I talked to the DNC? No. But I got two eyes, I got two ears, and I got a mind. And I got two eyes, and I watch and I listen. And I know what Allah has endowed me with intellectually. I know what I'm allowed to know by the divine. So I will destroy his smear campaign right here. I always tell you, pay attention to what's right in front of you. What is right in front of you. That's it. What's right in front of you. Nobody messes with my wife. And I don't know what the implication is supposed to be. What are they trying to insinuate? What are they saying? Are they trying to say Janet's racist? Because that won't work. I remind you, my wife, why the videos from Rhythm Nation are in black and white was a deliberate act on the part of Janet, because she said she didn't want anything to be black or white or anything else. She just wanted it to all be shades of gray. That's why Rhythm Nation, black and white. Miss You Much, black and white. The Knowledge, The Knowledge, black and white. Do you understand? I think there's a couple other ones. Let's see what else is on that album. Those are the ones that come to mind right now, but they're all in black and white. Janet has sang about multiculturalism and this and a third and and her family is populated by everybody. You feel me? She got everybody in her family. There's so much intermixing and all of it going on. But let's listen to Roland Martin. And again, he's one of these alphabet people, everybody, one of them fraternity people. I tell you, all black people that have them pledges and shit in them fraternities, you need to watch them very closely. Because there are many, 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 many hundreds of thousands of them, and they all have sort of a cabal, and they don't do shit for black people. They are gatekeepers. While they speak across the line and act like they're so for us and all that, they stand in the way. They stand in the way. And that has become increasingly more clear to me over the years. They are standing in the damn way. All this unity and cooperation we out here bitching about, they have it. But it's among them. You see? It's among them. And of course, they take these secret oaths and secret allegiances and shit, and you and I are not involved. They get their coin and they run off to the hills. Even on here, his panel is always the same people. The Malvo chick, the dude with the painted on goatee and the beard and all of it. Michael Imhotep, who I have a lot of respect for, by the way. Really like him. And others. I could just start naming. You know who they are. You know. But this is the bridge too far. You do not fuck with my wife. When you do that, you can see me. You understand? You could see me. Now, is Janet a perfect angel? She is not. But you do not criticize Janet. I do that. Do you understand? I do that. You don't. Now, let us begin to blow up his deception and lies. Do you understand? Now, his video is titled Roland Blasts Janet Jackson for Questioning Kamala Harris's Blackness. Ooh, 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 ooh. She's got to answer to this pork chop, apparently. Now,
oh, Lord have mercy, Janet.
There he is with the drama. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. No neck, just face and chin and shoulders. That's it. If you see something else, please type it in the comments because I can't find it. Let's go on.
Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet.
He says Janet Jackson repeats false claim that Harris isn't black. That's their big ass crawl right here on the bottom. Language is very important here, everybody, so I need you to listen very carefully.
Okay, y'all, she's the latest black celebrity to spread misinformation about vice.
She is spreading misinformation. That's an affirmative charge against Janet Jackson. Let's go on.
President Kamala Harris. In an interview with The Guardian, y'all, published Saturday,
I hate that look. That's something else. Let's go on. Now, he said in The Guardian, so apparently we don't have video or audio of this interview. He said in The Guardian, let's go back and go on.
About Vice President Kamala Harris. In an interview with The Guardian, y'all, published Saturday, to promote the second leg of her concert tour, Janet Jackson claims she heard that.
He says Janet Jackson claims she heard
Kamala Harris was not black. And
that she heard. But how he's saying it, she claims she heard as if she stood on a stage with her microphone and said, I heard Kamala Harris wasn't black. That's how he's expressing it. You see? Let's go on.
The vice president's daddy was white. Here's what the reporter wrote. On For Us, it was about making a difference to the kids.
Hear how he said, on For Us. Here's what the reporter wrote. On For Us. That's what you just heard him say it. Hear it again.
Wrote, on For Us, it was about making a difference to the kid's life.
Now, he's already screwed up because it's actually, quote, on the Rhythm Nation album, comma. That's very important. He left that completely out. It's in parentheses and everything. He just went on For Us. It was about making a difference. He's just blubbering it out. This reporter is citing someone else because there's quotations. Says, quote, on the Rhythm Nation album, comma, For Us, it was talking about the effect of the album on the person being quoted. That's not what you just got from his statement. Follow me. Follow me. That's not the inference you just got from how he read it. This is someone testifying about the effect of the Rhythm Nation album on their life. I read, quote, on the Rhythm Nation album, comma, For Us, comma, it was about making a difference in a kid's life, comma, a teenager's life, comma, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street to trying to make something of themselves, end quote. That is a review and a testimonial of an experience that person being quoted assessed about the Rhythm Nation album. Full stop. Now, hear the pork chop say it. And it's vastly different from what I just articulated to you.
President's daddy was white. Here's what the reporter wrote. On For Us, it was about making a difference in a kid's life, a teenager's life, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street, trying to make something of themselves. On that,
he didn't even let the audience know, because if he has listeners, It's not just viewers. He has people that they're. I guess I don't know what the fuck else he's on. But anyways, he didn't even uh, reveal that this is a quotation from someone else, and that it was a review of someone's experience or assessment of the Rhythm Nation album that I co-produced, by the way. Don't ask me questions. All right. Now, the pork chop goes on.
That record, she sang about joining voices in protest to social injustice and pushing toward a world rid of color lines. I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris.
Now, that first thing that I read to you was a quotation. You see the quotation, the opening quotation and the close quotation mark there. This is another paragraph that he just read. Now, is that the reporter now, the interviewer that's interviewing Janet? We assume so. Because when a reporter or a journalist writes an article or writes an interview, they don't quote themselves. That's not correct to even do that journalistically. So this is now the statement of the interviewer. Says on that record, she's saying about joining voices in protest to social injustice, which is join voices in protest to social injustice. A generation full of courage, come forth with me. Anyways, uh, uh, and pushing towards a world rid of color lines. That's the opening interlude. Um, doom, doom, doom. There's that bell thing, and it goes, damn it, I should be shot for this. We are a nation with no geographic boundaries, bound together through our beliefs. We are like minded individuals sharing a common vision, pushing towards a world rid of color lines. That is the interlude opening of the song Rhythm Nation. Now, this is a partial quote of it because there's that part. The first part is joining voices in protest to social injustice is from the actual song itself. It's part of the lyric, and this is part of the interlude. And pushing toward a world of color lines. All right. I wonder where, and that was a quote. You see, so the on that record is not quotations because that's the interviewer. Then when the lyrics and the interlude are mentioned, you see there's a quotation mark here. You see? And there's a close quotation after she says, quotes the part about uh, pushing towards a world rid of color lines, in quotation. All right. Now, the interviewer goes on and says, I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. So she is she's reciting whoever the interviewer is, he or she is reciting in this paragraph what they said to Janet. This first part that we read with the quotations, we don't know who they're quoting. That's somebody else who is having a testimonial because we don't have the matter of fact, we should go to the Guardian and see if we can find the damn article. Um, yeah, we'll do that after. I want to keep with my prosecution first. Because I don't want to insinuate anything else into this that we don't know already. We just want to deal with what we have. All right. So now, then the interviewer says on that record she's saying about blah blah blah, and then out of the end quotes then it says I wonder where she stands on the election, the forthcoming election. After all, I say that's the interviewer. I say America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. Quote. Well, you know what they supposedly said. There's a question mark and a quotation mark in quotation. She asks me. She asks. She was not making a proclamation. Let's go back to the pork chop and let's let him catch up with us now. You see, it's one thing he wants to be sensational and he wants to cape for these fucking DNC white people. That's fine, but you don't need to slam Janet Jackson or anybody else, quite frankly, under the bus for your bullshit, Roland Martin.
Life, a teenager's life, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street, trying to make something of themselves. On that record, she sang about joining forces.
He's not making any distinction in his tone or influxing his voice or anything to make a distinction for listeners at fucking all. That makes it specious and egregious. Do you understand? That's now specious and egregious. Let's go on.
Us, it was about making a difference in a kid's life, a teenager's life, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street, trying to make something of themselves. On that record, she sang about joining voices in protest to social injustice and pushing toward a world rid of color lines. I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said.
He doesn't even identify that it's Janet speaking there now. He doesn't even say Janet said, quote. He just says what he just reads it. He's supposed to have all this schooling and knowledge and he knows it all, but he can't make any distinction for his listeners or his viewers and tell the story purely with an aim towards the truth. You see? So this is a deliberate hit against Janet Jackson. Let's go on. Let's go back and go on.
Joining voices in protest to social injustice and pushing toward a world rid of color lines. I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris.
Now, he goes into this now. He doesn't identify the quote. This is now Janet speaking and the reporter. Well, yeah, it's Janet and the reporter because the she asks me is not Janet. It's the reporter. Then it's the quote, the rest of the quote from Janet. Let's go.
Well, you know what they supposedly said, she asked me. She's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian.
You see how now he changes his voice to make it sound nefarious and specious and like an evil act from Janet. But I know Janet, and so do you. And so, and even if we didn't know her, we have the context in which she said it right in front of us. So I'm sure she said, well, it was an inquisition, like, you know, when you're afraid to share what you know, but because you kind of think it could be wrong anyway, but you're just sharing it. So I'll give you an example for anyone who just can't follow it. All right, here's an example for you. So let's say you say to me, Jedi, let me deal with something recent. So I did a long stream on the other day, and I was covering the death of Tito Jackson and Frankie Beverly and James Earl Jones. So let's say you say to me, I'm making all my stuff about James Earl Jones and the rest of them, and you say, you know, Jedi, I heard that, but he was really the one in the costume, though, James Earl Jones. That's what I heard. But your whole look and the tone is one of not a statement, it's an inquisition. It's sharing what you've heard while even saying that that's what you heard. And you're also asking a question. Are you following me? So that's the context in which she said this. Well, comma, first of all, quote, well, comma, you know what they supposedly said. And we know Janet not to be boisterous. She's very soft and whispery. So she wouldn't be being boisterous and aggressive about this, or even affirmative. She probably said, I'm going to try to do my best Janet Jackson impersonation. Well, you know what they said supposedly, and the shoulders are coming up, the head is going over to the shoulder. She's, you know, like balling up. She's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian. Now, doesn't that feel more like what Janet probably said and did than what this pork chop is trying to sell you? I ask you this now, but most importantly, the language is there. Even if you never heard Janet, you can't picture her, you can't hear her in your mind. Quote, well, you know what they supposedly said. They, not her. You know what they supposedly said. She asks, and she asks, not she said. You know what they supposedly said, she asks. Quote, she's not black. That, that's what I heard, that she's Indian. And again, end quote. So that is take Janet out of it. That's someone uh shyly and what's the word? Man, my words come at me and come and go out. I just seen it. That's someone coyly or shyly asking while revealing what they've heard. It's like you see somebody at the train. Ain't the train supposed to come at 3? I thought it was supposed to come at 3. Wasn't it supposed, they said it was supposed to come at 3, right? Like, you're not saying, boom, hey, the train comes at 3. Move your ass. You're not saying that. You're asking, you're almost questioning while you're asking. I don't need to beat it to death anymore. Everybody knows what I just explained. You understand? If you don't understand what I just said, go to school. All right. Now, so, but that's not how the pork chop presents it. So she just asked a question while revealing what she heard. We'll let him do that part before we go on now.
Where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said, she asked me. She's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian.
See there? Go on, pork chop.
She looks at me expectantly.
Looks at me expectantly, like, do you have the knowledge? Do you know what the truth is? That's why the reporter wrote, she looks at me expectantly. Huh? Like, is that what you heard? Is what I'm saying correct? Like, tell me. Mind you, I remind you, Janet Jackson is an international icon. She's currently on tour. She was in this interview to promote the second leg of her tour. So she's not cozied up at our beach house in Malibu. I'm there taking care of the house. You already know that. That's not even, we don't need to talk about that. You already know. I'm already at the crib. I'm keeping things held down. You feel me? And then I'll go on the second leg because Janet needs me there to help her with the choreography and stuff. I don't want to even talk about that part. All right. And stuff. So she looks at me expectantly. So this was not an affirmative statement by Janet Jackson. That's what I'm here to defend, everybody. This was her having a conversation with this interviewer. And when the topic of Kamala comes up, she now says, hey, didn't you, like, she's asking, like, this, what I heard is that, like, it's a question, it's an inquisition. It is not an affirmative statement, or she didn't represent it as if it was factual truth. Are you following me? Now, she looks at me expectantly, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. No, strike the damn interviewer. Perhaps assuming that I may have the answer. Now, I don't know who the interviewer is, which is why we're going to have to go and find this damn article and look up the damn interviewer if we get their name. She looks at me expectantly, comma. Perhaps, this is pure speculation on the part of the interviewer. Janet, she doesn't know what's in Janet's mind. Apparently, doesn't know why she's even looking at them expectantly. This is a speculation. It's after a comma. She looks at me expectantly, comma. Then this is now the speculation of her mental process, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage, period. That's all that is. is the reporter speculating on Janet's thoughts in her head, which only I would know, to be clear. But I don't want to get into that. You see? Are you following me thus far, everybody? Because when you do this, then you leave this video understanding what really took place. And then you can make your own assessment of Janet. But at least do it on the goddamn truth. You understand? This is why the Jedi speaks. This is why. I guarantee you any amount of money you want to wager that there's not a single other human being on anywhere on the fucking internet. This is a bold truth I'm proclaiming. That is going to give you what I'm giving you about this event. You will not find it. You won't. Now, they will just go with the sensationalism and start speculating on a lie. I'm digging down to help you see the actual truth. Because anything you think about anything in life, a person, a place, a thing, it doesn't matter. It should be based on the truth. You don't get to build yourself a whole hypothesis of anything based on a lie. And it serves you because you can come to a better and more clear and firmer conclusion on whatever it is if you have a truth as your foundation. So now, let's pick it up. She looks at me expectantly, comma, perhaps assuming that I have an heritage. Then the quote goes on back to Janet. Quote, well, comma, well, comma, she's both, I offer. So now the interviewer is quoting themselves. I'm over it, which I just told you that's just, you don't do that. But this interviewer did, not surprised, since they're speculating on the mental workings of Janet Jackson sitting in front of them instead of just asking her what she's thinking. You're there to interview her. Why don't you just ask her what she's thinking instead of saying, perhaps assuming? You see, she could have been thinking about anything, probably me. You feel me? No doubt she was thinking about me. I don't want to get into that. But now let's hear the pork chop up to that point.
Kamala Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said, she asked me. She's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. She looks at me expectantly, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. Well, she's both, I offer. Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days, she coughs. I was told that they discovered her father was white.
Now, in every quoted pronunciation by Janet Jackson, she's saying, I heard, I think. Or I heard, I was told. I heard, I was told. This is someone who is saying, I'm not really up on the story. This is what if you want to talk about this, this is what I have heard. Like, I don't really know. This is what I've heard. And by the way, I'm sitting in front of a damn reporter from The Guardian, so I assume you would know the answer or have a better chance of knowing what the truth is better than myself. You see? So, when she says, again, it's that same tone that I already expressed to you, giving you the example earlier when I did my best imitation of her that I could do in a speaking. Then it's, quote, her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, and then she qualifies it this is somebody qualifying to say, listen, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why she adds after this comma or this period. I mean, after this period, comma, I haven't watched the news in a few days. And then she coughs. I was told, again, told, she admits, I haven't watched the news. This is what I've heard and what I was told. I'm not saying it. I was told they discovered her father was white, end quote. Again, Janet has made no affirmative statement. She's even admitting that she hasn't watched the news. She's not even up on the subject. This particularly on this. And why would she be? She's on an international tour. Her life is vastly different than yours and mine, and Kamala's for that matter. She's not just posted in front of the TV watching CNN, ooh, and MSNBC and all of it. She's not doing that. She's not doing that. So, and the reporter's already said, she looked at me expectantly, like, do you have the answer? Like, maybe you could bring me up to speed. I was told that they discovered her father was white. Not I found out. I say, I'm telling you, no. Her father's white. That's what I was told. That's like, and I'm sure there was body language that went with this, and a tone of voice that went with this that we don't have the benefit of, but I'm trying to infer it for us because this pork chop is giving you absolutely nothing but deception to arrive at the conclusion that they want, that he's being paid to give you. And they don't want to go down this road because let us understand, Janet Jackson is far more famous than Kamala Harris. She's got way more fans and for way more years than Kamala Harris. So they may be, I don't know if they're using this to try and get more, have Kamala's name in the press, to have a story about her or some controversy so she doesn't have to do an interview or speak or, be confronted about something. But this is very dangerous. Now, you guys know I'm not voting anyway. Like, I'm over it. But if I was going to vote and I saw this, I would not be voting because they've disrespected my wife speciously and on purpose. Remember, Roland Martin is a fucking journalist. He knows how to read. He knows how to read between the lines. He's also someone who has met Janet Jackson, certainly been in her proximity. She's not a foreign entity to him. So again, this is specious and on purpose. We're going to keep coming back to that charge. This is specious and on purpose. Now, let's hear the pork chop.
Perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. Well, she's both, I offered. Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days, she coughs. I was told that they discovered her father was white. I'm floored at this point. It's well known.
Now, this is the reporter saying I'm floored. This is editorial by the reporter reacting to Janet Jackson.
Days, she coughs.
Now, this could also be the reporter trying to get their story in the top position or some bullshit. We're gonna definitely find out who this damn reporter is. We're gonna find that out. We're going to find that out. Let's go on.
I was told that they discovered her father was white. I'm floored at this point. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist, a Stanford professor who split from her Indian mother when she was 5. Quote, my mother understood very well that she was raising 2 black daughters. Harris wrote in her book, The Truth We Hold.
Now, the reporter says, I'm floored at this point. Well, give a fuck if you're floored. You're sitting in front of Janet Jackson. You're a reporter. You should know this shit about Kamala and her mother and her mother's mother, quite frankly. But this is Janet Jackson sitting in front of you. And you're making an assumption that she should just be up on all things Kamala Harris. Likewise, did you ask her anything about Trump to see what her knowledge is on Trump? Because it'd be about the same as it is with Kamala, if at all. So fuck the reporter on this too. We're going to find out who it is. Do I want to go on right here? He quoted her book. Yeah.
The people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon adjacent, Trump-loving conspiracy theorists. I don't think Jackson falls into that camp, but I do wonder what the algorithms are serving her. I start again. Harris has dual heritage, I say. And given this moment, does Jackson think America's ready for her if we agree she's black? Or, okay, a woman of color? I don't know, Jackson stage whispers. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem.
Now, I'll read it. after he says, I'm floored at this point, it's well known, as if Janet should know this, that's the inference. I'm floored at this point. This is the reporter speaking now. I'm floored at this point. I don't know if that's a comma or a period. I can't see it from here. I think it's a comma. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist. And he goes economist. Like, it would be enough if she knew the bitch was Jamaican. How many of us knew he was an economist? That was news to me right now. Wallahi, I swear by Allah. I didn't know her father was an economist. I never knew what her father did. I know she said it. I know she has said it. I don't know it. So I offer that because you expect her to know that he's Jamaican and what he does for a living. And and a Stanford professor, and you're supposed to have his entire dossier. That's the inference being given by this reporter. Again, Janet Jackson has music to write. She has shows to stage, rehearsals. I mean, the time. Listen, everybody. Oh my God, I'm not Janet Jackson. Obviously, I've never even had the career that Janet Jackson has, or anybody else, quite frankly. But what I can tell you is the level that I was on in entertainment, just getting ready for a show, I would be missing for weeks from everybody who knew me. If you're gonna find me, you're gonna find me in the studio, or you're gonna find me in the dance studio. One of those, or somewhere in between those, traveling between. You feel me? And that's just for the shows I was doing. Not to mention, on top of this, she's going and giving interviews to The Guardian and everybody else. I'm sure she's making appearances on television shows and all that. She don't have time to be thinking about what the fuck Kamala Harris's father does for a living, or what he is, or anything about him at all. And I remind you that all of us, when she was presented to us, she was presented as a black woman. We could look at her hair and look at her face and know that she wasn't 100% Negroid. She wasn't from the continent of Africa, but many of us look like, many of us are not like many of us don't look like we're from the Maasai tribe. You understand what I'm telling you? Or really dark Africans on the continent, or Flavor Flav even. You see, most African Americans have some kind of a hue to us because of the crime by this white devil of slavery and consequential rape of our women. And now interracial dating and all the other bullshit. But I'm just saying, the point I'm trying to make is that we saw her and we took her as a black woman. Just like when we saw Barack, before any of us knew he had a white mother, we saw him, we said, that's a black dude. Period. That's a black dude. He looked like a black dude. He walked like a black dude. He sound like a black. That's a black dude. That just is. Now, you could get into, oh, his mother's white. We don't really care about that. This is one of my issues that I have with interracial people. Like, don't come up and give me some smorgasbord list of all the shit that you are. What I see in front of me, to me, that's what you are. And then it becomes, why are you telling me this other stuff? Now, there are scenarios and there are situations where you need to give your entire list of all the shit that you are. But I'm not one of those. I meet you at the bus station, or you're sitting next to me on an airplane. What I see, that's what you are. You feel me? Proving that for you, in case you're ready to object, let me shut you down by saying, how many times you've been someplace, you saw somebody that looked just like any other black person you would know, and then they spoke. And you're like, oh, wait, where you from? They immediately now are something different because you heard their African accent. Huh? How many of us fell off of our chair and had to be airlifted to the nearest medical center when we heard Idris Elba speak for the first time? Huh? I ask you this now. We're going to get to the truth of this now. We're going to do it. This is how you do it, everybody. This is how you interrogate what is in front of you. I always tell you, you got to be the captain of your vessel. You got to stand at your gate. What that means is you don't just let shit be coming in and influencing you. And you don't go out vomiting out and reciting shit that you don't know. You should be shutting up and gathering knowledge. And you should be cross-referencing and checking that knowledge so that when you have it, you have it. So that when you speak, people know you are reliable, that you're not reckless, that you are purposeful with your thought and your speech. That's what I want for you. This is why the Jedi speaks. This is why. So don't come up to me with this whole list of shit that you are. What I see, that's what you are. You understand? There's some people that can be very ambiguous and everybody knows it. So they have a right to be like, I don't mind when they're like, oh, I'm this, this, and the third, and they give you like 10 different things that they're mixed with. Because they're every once and again, but it doesn't happen every day. You do run into people that are just so ambiguous. You're like, I don't know. I don't even what are you? Where are you from? Like, who are you, miss? You know. And that's fine. But don't come up to me and you fully looking African American. You trying to give me Irish and I'm part British and I'm part Canadian and I'm part this bullshit. I don't give a fuck. You a black person to me, and why are you telling me? Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? What do you want from me? Do you want some extra carte blanche? Do you want me to be more impressed with you? Are you trying to say you're somehow better, or are you trying to separate yourself from something? Like, why are you telling me this? Why? Why? Damn it, why? Why are you telling me this? So, Janet does not have time to be sitting around pondering what is going on with Kamala Harris. But I digress to say, when we saw Kamala Harris, we all thought we just accepted her as a black woman. We were over it. Like I say, we knew she wasn't from the continent. You understand? But we just, that's the sister. Like, okay. Same as Vanessa Williams. We just accept that, but that's a sister. It just is. And Vanessa Williams is light as fuck. Well, she ain't really that light if you see her in person. She ain't that light, you know. But, she's lighter. And she has that hair and all of it. And she's a Pisces like me. Had to get that in. And she plays French horn like me. Anyway, not sure why we didn't get married. Don't want to get into it. Don't want to get into that. But Kamala, we just went, oh, that's a black woman. Period. We didn't hear anything about this Southeast Asian and Indian and Hawaiian and Pakistani and Arab and all this other shit until she became either the nominee, Joe Biden's nominee for vice president, or she became vice president. Whatever. When she suddenly, because when she was running her own campaign that failed, she never even got to Iowa, which is the first voting contest of the election cycle. She crashed and burned. She never got to Iowa, dude. And there she was on video, pissed that she was suspending her campaign. You could tell she was, when she was saying, you could tell there's a whole lot of people somewhere that we don't know that she pissed at and that are fired. She couldn't hide it. You feel me? But again, in all of that, no mention of this exotic shit. And I cite another piece of evidence for you. When during the debate, remember the big moment, she already had t-shirts printed up and everything. The big moment was when she was talking about busing, and that Joe Biden had signed some busing or supported some busing thing or some racist or something, and she was like in the busing and stuff, and there was a group, and there was a little girl that was such, and then she looked over him very dramatically, and that little girl was me, and that was supposed to be her stop the moment, drop the mic moment. You feel me? Again, no Southeast Asian, no Emirates, Qantas, Delta, none of that. Nothing. Nothing until she became vice president. Are you following me? And do you agree? You can let me know in the comments. But I also say to you, it doesn't matter because I have spoken the truth. Now, let's hear the pork chop. Oh, no, we heard him all the way to the end. All right, now, so to finish the dissertation, again, this person is floored because he just can't believe that Kamala Harris, that Janet Jackson wouldn't just be totally up on all things Kamala Harris and know what type of underwear she's wearing and what size bra she has and what lipstick she's wearing. How dare Janet not know this stuff? How dare she? It's well known. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist, a Stanford professor who split from her Indian mother when she was 5. So Janet's supposed to rattle all that out? And not just Janet, all of us apparently, according to this reporter, because they were floored. I was floored. Where's it at? Oh, I'm floored at this point, said the reporter. Can't believe Janet wouldn't know that Kamala's father was a Jamaican economist. So he's not Jamaican, everybody. He's a Jamaican economist, according to the reporter and how they wrote this article. Huh? Remember, a writer, an editor, and a publisher. They decided what was going to be on this page, where it was going to be, what the language was going to be, where the punctuations were going to be, what the font was going to be, and all of it. So this got out on purpose. I'm floored at this point. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist, not a Jamaican, comma, who is also an economist, comma. No. Kamala Harris's father is a Jamaican economist. We're supposed to know it. A Stanford professor who split from her Indian mother when she was 5. Quote, my mother understood that she was raising 2 black daughters, Harris wrote in her book, The Truth We Hold. I'm sure she said, my mother understood. And she'd do a little swallow first. My mother understood, the swallow, that she was raising 2 little black girls, 2 little black daughters. And she had the hands up. You feel me? So we know that's how she said it. Okay, so this is she wrote in her book, The Truth We Hold. So did her mother also understand she was raising a Southeast Asian, a Delta, a Qantas, an Emirates, a Hawaiian, a fucking an Aborigine? She's also what's that? I'm being told in my ear, everybody, she's got Chinese in her too. We're just finding it out. She's got Chinese. She's also Chinese. What? You checked this? You checked it. She's also from the Malawi tribe, turns out. And what? What? I'm being what? I'm being told. You've checked it. All right. I'm being told in my ear she's also Filipino. So there's that. I'm being told. I'm being told. I'm being told. So why didn't she write in her book that she was Southeast Asian, everybody? I ask you this now. I'd like an answer. Huh? Quote from her book. Quote, my mother understood very well that she was raising 2 black daughters, end quote. Not she was raising 2 Southeast Indian, Qantas, Emirates, Delta daughters. No. 2 black daughters, end quote. Now, the people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon adjacent, Trump loving conspiracy theorists. I don't think Janet falls into that camp. Just a second. Again, we read, everybody. Ikra. It says, the people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity. Janet was not questioning her identity here at all. And she's not being vocal about it. She's responding to the interviewer. But she's not questioning the facts of Harris's identity. She's asking, she's saying, this is what I heard. And she's looking at the reporter, what? Expectantly, bitch. Expectantly, follow my cursor. expectantly, because it's on the screen, I can't highlight it, but I can do it if I have an article. This is a picture of the article, so I can't highlight it like I do in articles for you guys. So you just need to follow my cursor. So Janet was not questioning, she was asking inquisitively to the interviewer while sharing what she was told and heard, not what she thinks. What she was told and heard. So the reporter says the people who, so again, this is a crafted hit against Janet. The people who, and of course, Roland is paid to follow right along with it because they just drag a pork chop on a string and he just crawls after it. We've seen it. We have the video. We have it. I'm floored. Well, stay on the damn floor, bitch. I'm floored at this point. Oh no, the people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon. Well, those are people that make statements like, we know that Obama is a socialist. We know he's an Arab. We know he's a terrorist. Those were all affirmative statements. This is nowhere near that. This is a shy, soft-spoken, whispery, pious woman, my wife, who is on tour, is in an interview. She might even be tired. We don't know what time of day this interview was or where it was. And she's asking while inquiring. And she's inquiring and asking while sharing. This is what I heard. Like she's looking at this person expectantly because they're a fucking reporter, and she's saying she's hoping this person's going to tell her what the details of it is, not just about this or anything that would have been in this same context. You know, oh, there's a new movie coming out. It's got Will Smith in it. I heard that Idris Elba was gonna co-star. Is like, it would be that same thing. Like, I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm not making an affirmative statement. I'm not even questioning Will Smith. I'm just saying on that topic, since you brought it up, oh, I heard that Idris Elba is gonna co-star with him on that. That's just sharing what you heard. But they're trying to make it seem like something that it's not. And Janet should probably fucking bring a lawsuit against their bitch ass. Starting with Roland's fat, no-neck, pork chop eating Christian ass. I don't think Janet falls into that camp. But I do wonder what the algorithms are serving her. No. Again, that's a sarcastic statement. Janet should definitely sue this bitch-ass bitch, whoever this is. Because she just said to you, I don't really watch TV that much. And this person says, I don't know what the algorithms are serving her. So even there, let's say if she was just online. So maybe she saw something but that's not what she said. She said what she was told and what she heard, not what she saw. Not what she saw. This was a throwaway disrespect. And Janet shouldn't have allowed them to run the fucking article. And she should sue their bitch ass. I don't know what the algorithms are serving her, period. I start again. Like, you start again? What do you mean you start again? That's disrespect. That's like, I tell you something and I go, listen, I need you to go down the street and turn left, and on the right there's going to be the fucking, restaurant. And you go off on some shit that I didn't say. That's not even on the topic. And I go, I'm going to start again. Go down the street, take a left, and the restaurant's going to be on the right side. That's what they're trying to paint. But that's not what the exchange was between this bitch and Janet Jackson. So now they're trying to act like she's thick and she didn't listen. She was inquiring. You're supposed to say, I shared with her that Kamala Harris is her father's Jamaican economist. Because they don't say she told Janet that. They said everybody knows. It's well known. All this dossier about her father. You see? So this is all throwaway. All this is nothingness. All this from here to here, the whole thing, quite frankly. But this person, I start again. Harris has dual heritage. Like, what do you mean start again? You hadn't explained it the first time, bitch. I start again. We're definitely finding out who the fuck wrote this shit. Harris has dual heritage. Okay, so what? Comma. I say, comma. And given this moment, comma, does Jackson think America's ready for her? Well, are you asking us or are you asking Janet? Because let's break it down now. I start again. Harris has dual heritage. I say, comma, and comma, given this moment, are you saying you ask Janet? So do you say, no, she's dual heritage? You didn't have to put all this sarcastic bullshit in there about people who are most in questioning and all the bullshit. You didn't need that. We didn't need the full dossier on her father and what type of underwear he wears and what toothpaste he uses. So it gets lost deliberately down here, everybody. Because this is meant to be ambiguous. Like, we don't really know how the exchange went. Maybe there was no exchange. But they say, I start again. Harris has dual heritage. Well, you never said that to her to begin with. You never said that. I say, and given this moment, comma, does, should it be do? Are you asking us, does Jackson think America's ready for her? Who are you asking? Because you wouldn't say to Janet, does you think America's ready? You see, this is for the reader asking us, do we now think they want us to get in Janet's mind? They want us to now get in Janet's mind and find and decide if she thinks America's ready for this fucking Kamala Harris bitch. Are you understanding me? Then they go on and say, if we agree she's black, and there's a question mark. I'm completely thrown off by that punctuation. And given this moment, comma, does Jackson think America's ready for her? If we agree, if we ready for her, if we agree she's black, I'm not understanding. Or, okay, a woman of color. So, what is the point? They ask us if we think Janet thinks, which is some bullshit. So that whole part of that paragraph shouldn't even be there. This is just meant to throw shade and disrespect at Janet. I say, given this moment, does Janet think America is ready for her? If if we agree she's black, or okay, a woman of color, because these are question marks. So we have to say it like that. But nowhere in here does it infer that you asked Janet, is she ready for a black female president? You didn't ask that anywhere in this fucking piece of crap that we're looking at. Not at all. And then our last sentence or paragraph. Quote, now, after you just gave us bullshit where you didn't ask Janet if she was ready or what she thought about having a black female president or anything. Only thing we have from Janet is her inquisitively asking what the deal is while sharing what she heard and was told. Then, final paragraph, quote, I don't know, comma, end quote. Jackson stage whispers. Again, more shade being thrown. She stage whispers. I don't know. I'll leave the fucking stage whispers part out and just open the quote to include this. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really, truthfully don't know. Perfect. Janet is saying, look, I don't know. She already said earlier, I haven't been watching the TV. I haven't watched the news in a few days. I don't know what's going on. So I don't even want to answer that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have enough knowledge. That is a thinking person, not speaking on shit they don't know. That's what the article should be about. Janet refuses to speak on shit she don't know. That should be the headline. You see? I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to answer that. I honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really, truthfully, so she's doubling down, saying, I really, truthfully, like absolutely 100%, I don't know. That's intelligent and responsible. No one disagrees with that. I think either way, it's going to be mayhem. And I and many other people think that. If Trump wins, it's going to be some bullshit. I don't know that uh, Democrats are as violent as these white savage demons on the Republican side. So if Trump wins, I don't know what will be the reaction of the so-called left. I don't know. And you have some yahoos who voted for him before who don't want him again, who are in that violent white demon savage class. They could do something. So I don't know what will be the reaction if he wins. But I know if he loses, we already saw January 6th. We've seen what they do. They storm capitals and kill people. Huh? So Janet was not out of her realm to say, first of all, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't even want to answer that. But I think this is where it's the very last sentence that she says what she thinks. Nowhere else in this piece of crap does Janet make any affirmative statements or claims. It's only in the last sentence that she says, I think either way it's going to be mayhem. Now, that's the truth of it, everybody. Now, here are the pork chop. I'll just take it back so we can read the last line and go on, and you can hear what his assessment is.
I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem. Now, a number of outlets reported that Janet Jackson issued an apology for the comments based upon a statement from Mo El-Masri.
There's nothing Janet has to apologize about. I just proved that in my dissertation. I just proved that there's nothing for Janet to apologize for. I just proved it. I just proved it. Let's go on.
Okay, who said he represented Jackson and is listed as the singer's manager on IMDb Pro. Well, a person close to Jackson who spoke anonymously later told the Post that El-Masri does not represent the singer. El-Masri also came out publicly and said that he was fired by Janet Jackson and Randy Jackson as a result of that statement. Now, Janet Jackson has not apologized for those comments.
She'll need to.
So, let me say this here, y'all. And so this is the first time.
Listen, everybody. At this point, the timestamp, I don't know what the timestamp will be for you. I don't know what, because we're in production. I was about to say the timestamp is such and such. I don't know what the timestamp is. But I really want to hear from you at this timestamp of the video. Do you understand what I have said? And do you accept the truth that I have proclaimed? That as of right now, before this pork chop starts to go deeper into the forest, I have shown and proven, using the same material that he is covering, that there is no need for Janet Jackson to make any type of an apology or a statement at fucking all. Other than to say, kick rocks. You feel me? And if y'all got a problem, y'all can see my husband, the Jedi. You feel me? And he travels with a crew real deep. You understand? I mean, if she just wanted to make a statement and stuff. You feel me? Because I already told Janet, you don't need to make no statement. I'm not going to let her make no statement. How about that? You feel me? I'm not going to allow it. You know what I'm saying? I had to hold her last night. I had to hold her. She was so disturbed by all of this. You feel me? She was thinking about maybe not continuing the tour. I said, babe, you gotta finish this tour. The fans, you feel me? The fans, they depending on you and stuff. And I know how much you dedicated to the fans and everything and stuff and everything and stuff. And she was like, babe, you're right. She goes, I've got to take control. This is about control. I was like, that's it right there. That's it. You got to take control. You feel me? And we talked about it, and I held her all night. I had to hold my woman. I had to hold her. You feel me? Y'all know what I go through behind the scenes. Y'all don't even know. You feel me? What I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Behind all of this. You know what I'm saying? What I had to put up with and stuff and everything and all this stuff. Now, here's the pork chop. So, I proclaim Janet does not need to make an apology. Go.
Janet Jackson has not apologized for those comments.
Doesn't need to.
So let me say this here, y'all. And so this is the first time I'm actually revealing this. So in 2019, we went on the Tom Joyner Morning Show cruise, the Fantastic Voyage cruise, and Janet Jackson performed. And so what we did was Tom would have all of the people who were on the show around a massive square table. And we would all basically record the show asking questions. So we interviewed Janet. So it was Tom, it was Sybil, it was Jay, it was Chris Paul, Huggy Lowdown.
All these people with some fucking secret oath and secret allegiance and shit. You see, go on.
It was myself.
At the pork chop, he was there. He just said he was there. Look, he can't even button his top button, everybody. Like, where's the neck at? Where is it? Again, tell me if I'm wrong. I see face and chin. That's all I see. Face and shoulders. This is literally head and shoulders, everybody. If you see something else, please type it in the comment section. Please tell me. Now, go on. He said they were on a cruise 2019 with Tom Joyner and a bunch of other secret oath Masons and shit. Go on.
It was like everybody who was
Is
on
in
the
the
show.
cabal, in the cult.
So everybody's asking different questions. So this is 2019. Vice President Kamala Harris is running. And I remember I asked the question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so,
Just a second. This is very important, everybody. When the Jedi speaks, you learn. Now, we have to watch body language here, facial expressions, and we have to listen carefully to what he is saying. Did you hear just then? It was 2019. They were asking questions to Janet Jackson, and he asked, first he points out that Kamala Harris was running for president, and are you going to endorse? Not, are you abreast on Kamala Harris's policies? What do you think about her? What have you heard about her policies, etc., etc.? And then you ask, do you think you will endorse? He goes straight to, she's running, are you endorsing? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And by the way, all of this might be, maybe they want Janet Jackson to endorse Kamala. And they want to, and she refused or something. We don't know what happens behind the scenes, everybody. But this is not the biggest story on earth. I mind you, there's 42,000 people murdered and fucking genocided off in Gaza. So let's be in context. But notice he went directly to, are you going to endorse? Is she going to endorse? You see, he's revealing while trying to conceal. Allahu Akbar. Listen now.
endorse, or
Just a second. Take it back further, Jedi. Listen, everybody. This is why I'm doing this.
running. And I remember I asked the question.
Asked, A-S-T. He's a journalist. Asked, A-S-T. I asked. But that's fine.
Kamala Harris is running. And I remember I asked the question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she,
Now he's trying to look like as if he was just being random about it. You know, she gonna, like it's like you go out with a sister. You feel me? And y'all sitting at dinner, and you're like, are you gonna I don't know what we're gonna do after this. Are we gonna smash? We're gonna did you want to go to the bathroom? Did you want to did you like you add a bunch of shit like you didn't really have an agenda? You feel me? Are we gonna smash? Did you want to take a ride? Did you want to did you need to use the bathroom? Did you go through your purse? Would you call your mom? What? Woo woo? No. Skirt. Wait, nigga, you just said, did I want to smash? So, skirt. You just asked if she want to endorse simply because it was Kamala Harris, a black woman, allegedly running. And at that time, you didn't say to her, are you voting? Are you going to endorse this Indian, Southeast Asian, Qantas, Emirates, Delta woman? Huh? You see how he's playing both sides of the fence? Blasting her for not understanding that Kamala Harris is Qantas, Delta, Emirates. But recalling the story from 2019, almost trying to whip her into, are you gonna or shame her into endorsing Kamala because she's running and she's a black woman? You see the double standard, the hypocrisy right there that's just fucking dripping out of his fucking pork chop ass face. You hear it? I'm getting worked up. Listen now.
It was like everybody who was on the show. So everybody's asking different questions. So this is 2019. Vice President Kamala Harris is running.
This 2019, Vice President Kamala Harris is running. That's how he sets it up. Go on.
And I remember I asked the question.
AST. Was Janet
Jackson going to endorse? Or
was she going to endorse? Was she going to because that was the agenda. Was she going to endorse? What was she?
was she?
What was she?
Really focused on the election?
Was she focused? That's would have been your opening question. Listen, have you been following the election at all? Give her a chance to answer. Did you know about Kamala Harris? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. That would end it. You see? Or if you're going to stand there and try and browbeat her and educate her about who the fuck this person is. You feel me? By the way, I remind you guys, I've said this many times to you. The bitch is from my state. I didn't know her until she ran for the Senate. Let's understand that. I didn't know her name. I never saw her, never heard of her till she ran for the Senate. Never heard of her. And I live in goddamn California. So, and I'm not the international traveler and, all that Janet Jackson is. So if I didn't know the bitch, you think Janet Jackson would know her? Huh? Let's put things in context, everybody. So he goes straight to endorse. And then he asks, have you been following the election? After, are you going to endorse?
Was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so she gave, I can't remember what the hell
I can't remember what answer she gave because she said some shit that shut you down or she said nothing. This is typical. Y'all can see through this. You don't need me to tell you this part right here. You don't need me. You don't need me. You saw through that right there. I'll just run it again. You saw through that. Some answer she gave, that's when you really don't want to tell the truth of what happened. It's like, watch any of these body cam videos, police body cam videos, or watch anything where there's a crew or something like that, and you have somebody recounting a story. They're the guilty party, potentially, or whatever. They show up. What happened here today? I pulled up in my ride, and I got out the car, and I was like, I'm going to get the kids? And she says something or whatever, and then they go back to their part. What they want you to think and know. Not what the person said, because that could add credence and maybe throw shade on what you're doing. You feel me? This was that, everybody. Come on now. This was that. This was that. See it again and we'll go on.
The question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on?
He remembers exactly what he said. Is she going to endorse? Was Infinity? Was she focused on the election? And then he doesn't remember anything that Janet Jackson says. One thing he didn't remember what Tom Joyner said, or some fan, or somebody that called the radio station, or somebody that was just in passing on this cruise they were on. This is Janet Jamita Joe Jackson. You don't remember. Listen, if Janet spit at, if spit flew out of her mouth when she was talking to me, I would remember it and point to the place on my face where it hit me. But he wants us to believe now that he had the audience of Janet Jackson. And just for more context, Roland Martin is 5'11". My wife is 5'5". 5'7" if she's in heels, but she's 5'5" in flat feet. Just so you could picture the dynamic of him standing and asking her a question. And it's Janet Jackson, and you don't remember what she said to you. If she mumbled, I would remember it. If her stomach growled, I would remember it. And what pitch on the scale it was in, huh? But he represents to us that he asks his question, he has no idea what Janet said. She evaporated into a puff of dust, and she was missing and gone. Go on.
Was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so she gave. I can't remember what the hell she
gave. See, the truth betrays him. She gave. I don't remember what the hell she said. He knows what answer she gave. She gave. I don't know what the hell she said. She gave. I don't know what the hell the truth. She gave. That was the truth. I don't know what the hell she said. That was the lie. In real time. She gave, I don't know what the hell she said. As if it was just somebody that he passed who wanted an autograph, and I have no idea what they said. But this is Janet Jackson. And you asked her a question about an important event in 2019 because Kamala Harris, according to your own testimony, this is important because Kamala Harris is running for president. It's so important that you need to bring it to Janet Jackson and ask her what she thinks. And you can't remember what the fuck she said. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't remember what the hell she said. We're going to be here a minute, y'all. I thought this was going to be a quick video, but you can see now it's too much we have to dig up. You understand? There's so much filth here. You understand? We haven't even gotten to the bleach yet.
The question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so she gave. I can't remember what the hell she said.
She gave. I don't really remember what the hell she said. Go on, pork chop.
I don't know what kind of non-answer.
Now he doesn't remember what she said. Pause. Then he says, I don't know what non-answer she gave. So that means there was an answer, but it was a non-answer. So she said nothing, or you don't remember it, or it was a non-answer. But an answer was given, it was just a non-answer. It was word salad or something. Which one is it, pork chop? Which one is it? Huh? This is very dangerous, everybody, because Roland Martin, why he is paid, like I say, anytime you have elevated Negroes like this, you have to be very, very suspicious. Very. You start from a place of distrust and do the dissertations as you go. Do you understand? Sadly, we're the only people in this nation whose population is majority Christian. We're the only I'll say it again. We're the only population in this bitch who among our population is majority Muslim or majority Christian. That matters. You understand? Go on.
Election. And so she gave. I can't remember what the hell she said.
I can't remember what she said, and he stops.
I don't know what kind.
And then I don't know
non-answer.
Then he doesn't know what kind of non-answer.
She sort of gave, like
that she sort of gave. So there was an answer she gave. Because remember that first slip was she gave. She said. Then he gave at the end.
I don't know what kind of non.
Wait, I have to make my point.
The question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so she gave.
She gave. Then he goes through all this bullshit, ends on gave.
I can't remember what the hell she said. I don't know what kind of non-answer she sort of gave.
She sort of gave. Again, gave. You see, the truth is in front of us, everybody, while he is trying to conceal. While he's trying to conceal. Let's go on.
Like, I'm not really whatever. I'm not quite remember. So check this out. So like 2 hours.
So now he wants to get to this. So forget that now, which was very important that he can't remember. And let's move on to something else. You see?
What kind of non-answer she sort of gave.
She sort of gave.
Like, I'm not really whatever. I'm not quite remember. So check this out. So like 2 hours later, Tom comes up to me, pissed. He's like, because of your question, can't really interview.
Because Janet probably said, and he probably knew, which is probably the part he's not telling why he's looking to the left and frowning and he can't remember anything and he doesn't know what underwear he was wearing and I can't go on, is because it's probably a policy of Janet Jackson to not be asked about politics. And mind you, she was on a cruise performing. They were on some special cruise. You think there wasn't contracts signed before Janet Jackson got on that fucking cruise ship? You think she just ran to the ship and go, wait, is Janet, I'm going to perform for y'all. Wait, and got on the ship? There's all kinds of confidentiality agreements that were signed, NDAs that went on, and all of this. And he probably broke the rule. Like, you asked her some shit she's not supposed to be asked. I'm sure that wasn't all that was on the list. You notice Janet don't talk about me in public. That's in the NDA. I could tell you. I wrote it. You feel me? They already know. Don't ask. Don't even ask about me. You feel me? Don't even ask, because that will trigger Janet. Because we keep our relationship private. Our marriage has been private for the last 25 years. You feel me? We've been done very well by keeping it private. That's why y'all never, ever, ever hear Janet talk about me. You feel me? That we have that that's in the rules. You understand? But that's in the rules and stuff. So Tom Joyner comes up to him pissed. You've asked her a question, and now we have to throw you over the side of the ship. Go.
Pissed. He's like, because of your question, can't really interview.
Because of your question, we can't interview her. And I'm sure he didn't say, because your question can't. See, he's trying to just mumble that out because this doesn't look good on him. It's standard behavior from deceptive ass black people, specifically when they're being when we know black folks that do this shit. Look at the lips, the frown, how he's looking, all the body language, and all of it. Oh, is that his chin? Oh, that is his lips. I thought it was part of his chin. You never know. You never know. And so Tom Joyner probably came to him and said, Roland, we can't ask any more questions now. Because of you, man. You ruined it, brother. You ruined it. Now we can't ask Janet no questions. I'm sure it didn't go like this. We can't ask no more questions because you asked that question. Just.
Because of your question, can't really interview. So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Now he's frowning like he's just hearing some foreign medieval language that he's never even been told the name of, you see.
Well, her people came in and they were like, nope.
Her people, me being one of them.
Nope, can't really interview. And then Tom said, we offered to them, hey, we'll just edit out Roland's question and her answer. Nope, and not at all.
So this also offers to us, everybody, his motive for trying to make more out of this article, this interview, than it was. He's still ass hurt at Janet because she didn't answer his question. And ruined it for everybody else on the ship who would have been able to do an interview with her. So he's pissed. He never got over it. That's why he mumbled out what Tom Joyner said to him. You understand what I'm telling you? Oh, we have the truth, everybody. We have it. It's right in front of us.
They were like, nope, can't really interview. And then Tom said, we offered to them, hey, we'll just edit it out.
So we offered Janet, then we'll just edit out what this no-neck pork chop asked you, and we'll just run the rest of it. And Janet's people said, nope, we don't want any of it to run now. Nah, you can't do none of it.
Roland's question, her answer.
Actually, Janet was okay with that. I was like, nah, you don't get none of it. You feel me? And I slammed the door. You feel me? I slammed the door. I slammed it.
Nope, nope, and not at all. Can't run the whole interview at all. And it never ran. It never did. Now, if I was
See how he looks?
Tom, I'd run the damn interview now. I don't give a shit.
If I was Tom, I would have ran it anyway. Now I don't give a shit. You see? He still asked her about that because how dare Janet Jackson think she's better than us? And she's not part of our alphabet fucking secret seance Mason shit. You understand? And is there some sexism going on here? Let's throw that into the pot and see if it'll boil. Huh? There's some sexism going on. How dare this black bitch not answer my question? Huh? 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 Talk to me, everybody. Talk to me in the comments. Talk to me.
Now, if I was Tom, I'd run the damn interview now. I don't give.
See the facial expression? Like, it don't mean shit to me. You see? All of that. The whole attitude is that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look, that's, I don't care. So, what that mean, huh? So, that's what that face is, everybody. Because it's nothing but face and shoulders. Huh? Face and shoulders. Face and shoulders.
And it never ran.
And it never ran, all because of his fat ass. He ruined it for everybody.
It never did.
And the eyes bucked because he didn't really want to tell that part.
Did.
And then you see, and it never did. And he looked to the side like, I don't give a shit. So even if he did this next part he's going to do, that already told us, I don't give a shit. And it never did. But the whole body language was, I don't care. Watch, 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 watch. And
it never did.
Look, see that? And it never did. And you saw the little wiggle? Because it wasn't really a wiggle. Part of his fat was moving. It happens. It's kind of like like an aftershock or something, like an earthquake. I don't want to get into it.
And it never ran.
Watch.
It never did.
Look, I don't care. That's what that was. I don't care. And never did. You saw the movement of the shoulders and the body, all of it? I'm making my point. We're going to see it again.
And it never ran.
Watch, watch.
It never did.
Right there. It never did. And I didn't care. I'm glad. And then he verifies, he validates my speculation by his next statement and body language. Go.
Now, if I was Tom, I'd run the damn interview now. I don't give a shit.
See? The Jedi knows that of which he speaks. Let us go on.
But I'm sitting there going, how is it now 3 days later and you, Janet Jackson, still haven't issued an apology for that stupid ass comment you made?
Because she didn't make a comment, fat ass. She did not make a comment. She does not need to make an apology. And maybe this is, he wants her to apologize because she wouldn't give him an answer to his Kamala Harris question back in fucking 2019 and shut down the entire prospects of anybody doing an interview of her while she was on the damn cruise ship. Huh? And by the way, what is my wife doing performing on a damn cruise ship? That's the story. That's the story. We want to know what that. I'm sitting here 3 days later wondering, why the hell ain't Janet Jackson right here? Look at the face and shoulders, because you can't see anything else.
You're going, how is it now 3 days later?
How is it that your beard goes directly into your chin? Not understanding. But that, we're not here for that, Jedi. Now, could you please move on? Fine, self, I'll move on. You're not the boss of me.
But I'm sitting here going,
I'm sitting here on my fat ass eating another pork chop that I simply don't need. And I'm going,
how is it now 3 days later?
And my Fitbit just tell me I had high cholesterol and high blood pressure and sugar diabetes all at the same time.
And you, Janet Jackson, still haven't issued an apology for that stupid ass comment you made.
For that stupid ass comment you made. She didn't make a comment. I just proved that. I just prosecuted and proved that Janet Jackson made no affirmative statement, everybody. She did not make a comment. She simply relayed to someone who she thought had more knowledge than her, since they're a fucking reporter. She relayed to them very shyly and hesitantly what she had been told and heard. And by the interviewer's own testimony, after sharing what she had heard and was told, she looked at them, what? Expectantly. Huh? So you don't need a damn apology.
Now let me be real clear.
Oh, I wonder where you got that statement. Let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. And he put up the hands. So this is definitely a Kamala channeling. He's channeling Kamala there.
An apology for that stupid ass comment you made.
Because she doesn't need to, because she didn't make a comment and it wasn't stupid. So how about that? How about you apologize for not losing weight, Roland? How about that? Because if you can be offended about a non-statement and comment that Janet Jackson made, well, I'm just offended about everything. I'm offended. I open my eyes in the morning, I go, I can't. I'm offended. And I turn back over. I'm so offended, I can't even get out of bed. I can't go on.
Now let me be real clear.
And let me be real clear. After he puts up his bare paws and he needs to clip his fucking fingernails, I'm over it.
Okay? I think Janet Jackson is a fantastic entertainer.
Nah. I'm going in so hard on her unnecessarily, and it's some bullshit that I've even asked for this apology. Wait, I forgot to say I don't hate her. Quick, it looks like I hate her. Quick, say she's an amazing performer and I have nothing against her. That's so typical. I mean, I don't have nothing against her. I don't. I mean, I might have punched her tires and everything and stuff like that, and maybe I put some sugar in her gas tank, but I don't have nothing against her. I'm saying I loved Rhythm Nation and stuff. You know, and stuff. But this is libel, everybody. It's a Janet Jackson repeats false claim that the bitch isn't black. That's libel. That's libel. And if I was Janet, I would just file the lawsuit. Make that public. It's not about winning. Who cares? We have all the money we need. We don't need it. You understand? I make more than Janet, and she makes a nice little salary and stuff. We good. You feel me? This is nothing. But now he has to put in. I love Janet Jackson.
An apology for that stupid ass comment you made. Now let me be real clear. Okay? I think Janet Jackson is a fantastic entertainer.
That's so gratuitous. Did you feel that at all? Did that even feel honest? I think she's a great entertainer. Like, it don't even matter. Not she's fucking broken ground for many decades now and has set records and has been second only to her brother. I mean, I could just go on about her accolade. This didn't reflect that at all. I think Janet Jackson's a great entertainer. It's so gratuitous.
Okay?
With the bare paws that need the fucking nails clipped.
I think Janet Jackson is a fantastic entertainer.
Fantastic entertainer. And look how he turns up the mouth. Like, I'll just say it. Even though I don't mean it. I'll just say it. If that's what y'all need, I'll just say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. It don't mean I mean it. I'll say it. See, that's what that face is right there.
Puts on a great show.
Puts on a great show. That's it. We're talking about Janet Jackson, everybody. Not some 3-year-old giving a school recital, you see. We're talking about Janet Jackson, an international icon who stops traffic. Do you understand? I can't.
Well, this was a dumbass comment.
But this was a dumbass comment. Well, if it was just dumb, then why are you so worked up over it? Face and shoulders. Huh? Why are you so worked up over it if it was just a dumb comment? If it was just so dumb, then it should mean nothing to anyone. It should be inconsequential. But you're devoting a whole 15, 16 minutes to this.
And asinine. And you got the reporter sitting there.
And you got the reporter sitting there that's on your side, fat ass. What's he going to say about the reporter? Because I didn't watch this all the way through.
Telling you it's not true. And
no, the reporter didn't say it wasn't true. You understand? The reporter, the way that it's punctuated, we don't know if the reporter is talking to us or Janet. But let's just give it to the reporter when it says that she's both. She's actually both, or something was the language. We'll just give it to the reporter, even though the fucking bitch doesn't deserve it. But we're charitable here. You understand? We're charitable. We don't mind. So let's just say that Janet gave no contest to that. She gave no contest at all. At all. She didn't push back on that at fucking all. And when they tried to get an affirmative statement out of her, she says, listen, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. So I don't even want to answer that. She was over it. The only affirmative statement that Janet Jackson made, my wife, was to say that whichever way it goes, I think whichever way it goes, it's going to be mayhem. Deal with that, fat ass. Not a non-statement made by Janet Jackson. You see? Go on.
Telling you it's not true.
No. See, this is what he's trying to paint for the audience and his listeners. He wants you to leave his piece of shit video thinking that Janet made the statement that Kamala that she firmly stated without anything that Kamala is not black, and that's the end of it. And then when the reporter tried to say no, she's not black, she's actually such that, and Janet said, fuck you, bitch, she's not black, and that was the end of it, and she stormed out singing Control. You see, that's what he wants you to leave with. But I remind you, the Jedi speaks. The Jedi speaks. And when the Jedi speaks, we learn. And we get to the bottom of the shit. What is the truth of it? You see? We'll just take it back and go on.
And asinine. And you got the reporter sitting there telling you it's not true. And you say nothing. So here you are.
See? You say nothing. He's got nothing there because I don't need to rehash it. I've already proven that. We've already done it. We saw what Janet said and what the reporter said. What he just said there is patently untrue. His bitch ass is doing the very thing that he's on his whole fucking video trying to accuse Janet Jackson of doing. He's actually doing it. Oh my God, I can't. Wow. Go on.
Corrected it. So
wait.
And you say nothing. So here you are. You haven't corrected it.
There was nothing to correct, pork chop. Face and shoulders, everybody. Face and shoulders. If you see something else, if you even spot anything else, please, for the love of God, let us all know. We're searching. We've got teams on it. We've got researchers. I mean, we got a lot of people. We got about, you won't believe the number of people we have. And so if you find something, for the love of humanity, please tell us. It is so critical. We're just trying to find a neck.
So what you're telling us is you're perfectly fine with the lie being out there.
No. And what's worse, like I said, I haven't watched it. I hadn't seen this point, everybody. But what is going to happen, he's going to bring up a panel. I don't know what they're going to say, but they're all going to come up and say and back up his bullshit. So he's got a whole panel of people to come and help tell this lie that he's telling on Janet Jackson for something that never even happened. It was a non-event.
So you said nothing. Randy has said nothing.
Now he's dragging Randy into it. Was Randy sitting there in the interview when they just refused to tell us he was sitting right there? I mean,
And that's That's just dumb. First of all, how many biracial people are in the Jackson family?
I don't know why he is going along with this, everybody, but I'm telling you, there's a deeper motive going on here. All jokes aside, there's a deeper motive going on right here. Why is he devoting this time to Janet Jackson? And apparently, all these alphabet fucking secret oath pledging ass people have gotten a memo. Because I saw in the the fucking the suggested videos and stuff, there's other black folks that are saying the same. I didn't watch them, but I'm saying I see the title of the video and the thumbnail is suggesting the same thing. All of them suggesting that Janet Jackson's done something outrageous. You see? Why are they doing this? Because we know they all bend over and take it from massa. We have no leaders. We have no representatives in this fucking country, everybody. You don't have it. You don't. And when you do, they villainize you. Exhibit A, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. That's a real leader. That's a real representative. He's not bending over for anybody. You see? He doesn't have a YouTube channel.
How many of her brothers have married non-black people?
Now he's just, now again, this is why Janet should file a lawsuit, because now he's going even deeper into the slander of it all. This woman made no statement. She was asking. And by the way, from this fucking interviewer, where's the video of the interview? How about that? Where's the video of this interview? I can't imagine that this was not recorded somewhere on video. You got Janet Jackson sitting in front of you, and you're not going to record it? Who believes that?
And you literally are questioning, oh, I heard her.
She's not questioning. See, he had to stop himself. And you literally question it. I heard. And he's trying to make it sound nefarious. No, she's just saying what you heard. She made no statements. You see what I'm saying? See how he had to stop himself there? And you literally
are questioning.
And you're literally questioning. And then he stopped himself.
Oh,
I heard. That's not questioning. That's relaying information that you've been given. But you're saying it in a questioning way. I heard this. And you could tell by how the fucking reporter wrote it that she was clearly saying it with an inquisitive tone. Clearly understanding that what she's heard and has been told may not be the actual thing. We've proven that already. So, you see how he puts questioning in there? Again, this is the stuff that lawsuits are made of, everybody. You parse language like this, you win millions. Millions. I cite for you. Years ago, there was Under Pressure by Queen. And there was Ice Ice Baby by fucking Vanilla Ice. And they went to court on a lawsuit over doom 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 doom. And I think the original one is like doom doom. It's I can't even, because it's so close you can't even. It's so close you can't almost even tell it. But that's my point. It's so close, but right in that closeness, that's where the lawsuit is. So, to that end, I suggest to you that right when he says right here, questioning, that's the lawsuit. We got everything else is the fucking lawsuit too, but just the questioning would be another layer to add on to the lawsuit to sue his ass under the fucking earth.
Her brothers have married non-black people. And you literally are questioning.
And you literally are questioning. That's the lawsuit. Part of it.
Oh,
I
heard her dad.
I heard her dad
was white.
That's not questioning face and shoulders. You see how he's being deliberately deceptive, everybody. Deliberate deception.
What the hell are you reading, Janet?
And You want to chastise her now for just referencing, is the word we want here. Referencing what she heard and was told. And then he says, what the hell are you reading? So you're admitting there that this wasn't an affirmative statement out of her own knowledge. What the hell are you reading, Janet? He says, again revealing truth through his face and shoulders.
Really a questioning? Oh, I heard her dad was white. What the hell are you reading, Janet? And who you hear it from?
He's making it sound like she was on a video or on some stage or somewhere independently and proclaimed this.
Not only that, this woman was the Attorney General of California when you lived there.
So what? I don't know the bitch. I still live in this bitch.
Did you walk past a TV set?
Janet Jackson is a very busy woman, and she clearly takes care of her body. So she's busy doing other stuff, Roland, while you're clearly sitting on your fat ass eating pork chops. You see, there's a difference in you and Janet. I don't know if it's just a difference there. She actually has a neck. You don't. I mean, there's a few things. I don't want to, but there's a few things. There's a few things. Other than that, you guys are twins. I'm over it.
I am so.
Look, the cough now. Fake cough. I am so out of lies. I got to cough here and swallow because I need to come up with my next lie. I am so fake cough, swallow.
Walk past a TV set? I am so. I am so through with a lot of these black entertainers.
A lot of these. No, stay on Janet, bitch.
Really being stuck on stupid.
You're talking about Janet, though. You see now he's adding a lot of these. Who? Who else? Who's the a lot of these, Roland? Who are the a lot of these? Since you're so over them and so sick and tired of them, who are they? Why aren't you naming them?
With some of the comments that they're making.
They're making. Who are they?
It's just dumb. And
no, it's not just dumb. It's a federal case, according to you.
Then it's then this is so it's going to cause. Are this going to I don't. First of all,
see, he doesn't know what to make of this. He's talking about that last statement. What I don't when she said I'm not even going to answer it because I don't know. Basically, I'm a dumb bitch. I don't have no information on this. All I think is that if whichever way it goes, there's going to be mayhem. That's the only affirmative statement she made. Now he's going to try and attack that. You see? Because he's run out of lies. Now, on this first portion of it, I've proven that already, and the fake cough and the swallow to try and move this to another lie, but he's got no more lies there that he can make up. So now he started talking about other people, these other celebrities that are making dumb comments, and he's just so over it because he's moved away from Janet now, because that's a hot potato to him now. Now, and then this, because now he wants to attack the last statement. Go.
And then it's
maybe I have something else I can lie about. Wait, with my receding hairline. Wait, what?
Oh, so it's going to cause.
Oh, it's going to cause. And then he reads it and he realizes that's not, he want to put that out there. So then he gets off that. It's going to cause, and then watch.
Are this going to, I don't.
It's going to cause, first of all, I don't, you see, while he's still looking at it, you're still looking at it to read it to see if you're making bullshit out of something that ain't really some bullshit. I'm proving the shit in real time for you, everybody. All you gotta do is watch and listen.
First of all, he's probably the most true. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know.
Now you get to that. But he has a look on his face like she just uttered some foreign medieval language that no one's ever even heard the name of. You see?
Well, why your ass talking about it?
She didn't. She's not. Your fucking reporter's doing all the goddamn talking. And Janet already clearly said, listen, I'm not even answering shit. I don't know. So again, he's out of gas, everybody. He's got nothing. He's got no answers. He's got no reason to be sitting his ass up there. He's got no neck. He's there's a lot of deficit going on here. There's a lot of deficit. You're looking at a recession.
Why didn't you give The Guardian the same answer you gave me on the...
What did I tell you? Still ass hurt about 2019. Why did you give the Guardian the same answer you gave? Remember, I haven't seen this portion at all, everybody. Haven't seen it. Wallahi. I swear by Allah, I have not seen this at all. And I'm being proven right yet again. Why did you give the Guardian the same answer you gave me? And when, Roland? Say it, say it, say it.
Tom Joyner Morning Show, Fantastic Voyage Cruise 5 years ago.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Right there. There it is.
Then folks wouldn't be lighting your ass up.
Fuck Roland Martin.
Memo to all entertainers, especially black ones. If you don't know shit about politics,
if you don't know shit about Janet Jackson, if you can't read and interpret what the fuck she said, then get your no-neck ass off the fucking screen. I'm sorry, that wasn't what you were going to say? All right, what were you going to say?
Shut up.
Oh, okay, but I was a little premature there. I may have jumped the gun. They're running the tape back to check it, everybody, because we want accuracy. I may have jumped the gun there. We don't know.
Please. Because you look like a damn fool.
You do, with no neck.
Julian, go.
Julian, go. Look, these are all the fucking people with these secret oaths and secret fucking, all of it. Everybody's got a book. You understand? Julian, go. Because I done lied enough now. Now, what lies she gonna tell?
Ooh. Well, I hate to quote Laura Ingraham, who told some brothers to...
We're not going to watch all this, everybody. I just want to get a feel for what each of them are saying. So we're going to skip. But just let's hear her opening, Mark.
Shut up and dribble. But I will tell Janet Jackson, shut up and sing, girl.
See? And you know what? I'm secretly hoping, everybody. I'll just reveal it to you now. I'm secretly hoping. And I don't want Trump to be president, but I don't want none of these motherfuckers to be president. I'm sick and tired of all of it. But you'll recall now, in 2016, when there they were so assured that it was going to be sniper fire. She was going to win. No question about it. It just the mention of Trump's name gave them the chuckles that they couldn't control. That'll never happen. Kiki. There all her supporters were at the fucking wherever they were at the night of, that she was going to give her victory speech and all of it. It literally had a glass ceiling, this place. It was fabulous. And they were packed in, and they had their "I'm with her" signs, and it was all. And there's Steve Kornacki at the board, and every channel they were just gleeing with the victory of sniper fire, until it was not a victory for sniper fire. And I suggest to you, they're going back down that same road. Because while they're showing you all this shit Kamala is doing, they're showing you all this fluff. What they're not telling you, or not highlighting at the very least, and really making sure they punctuate, is all the shit they do at these polling places, especially in these battleground swing states and shit. White people, they got 100,000 fucking voting locations. You're in and out in 2 minutes. You literally leave the car running, parked in the fucking red zone. Run in and vote and you're over it. But you go to the black counties, and it's everybody in that line is telling they've been there for 12, 13, 15 hours. They're not highlighting that. You see? They're not highlighting the threats that go on in some of these cities, and these scared to death as Christian Negroes who don't fear Allah. Their faith goes only to the point of fear, and then every Christian turns into something else. I've never met one that said, well, at this point, I trust God and I keep punching. Never met a single fucking human being. Their faith only goes up to a calamity, and then it's over. You see? They don't have no answer after that. There's no real faith and trust in the one that creates. It's conditional and shit. You see, the moment you confronted with fear or calamity, your ass collapses like a cream puff. You are no match for anybody, quite frankly. So the intimidation and the fear tactics will work, and they do work in many of these counties. You understand? We're not even going to get into the laziness. We know no black people out canvassing and knocking on doors and shit. We know that's not happening because that would require unity, and that requires you to actually do something. You see, and you can't get black people to even fucking thumbs up a goddamn video. So leave the house, knock on doors, get dressed. How dare you say this blasphemy to me? So we have to think about the participation. It's not there. It's not there the way that it could be for any candidate, quite frankly. It's not there for black people. And even the ones that voted for Obama in 2008, they went out autonomously. They weren't out knocking on doors. There was a few of them. But most of those people just showed up autonomously because obviously it was like, oh my God, Barack Obama could be president, so that you didn't have to drag their ass. They just went. But that was an aberration for black people. That was an aberration. So don't be so sure that Trump is going to lose this thing. A guy with that many felonies on his ass, he's been shot damn near, well, he's only shot at one time and was about to be shot at a second time. He's hated by the entire world. You would think he would just drop out. And when he doesn't, that means he must know something we don't know. So let's be very careful. Let's be very careful. Let's hear a little bit more of her slander and we'll move to the next person.
That you okay at that. You ain't that good at that either, but you're okay at that. You can sing. But do not get yourself involved in politics because you don't know what you are talking.
See, they're willing to just come out and slander this sister based on nothing. These are the same people who didn't defend her when she had the wardrobe malfunction scandal. Fuck these people. They've never bought a ticket to her show. Do you understand? And here they are up there saying this shit about Janet Jackson of all people, who doesn't have a mean word for anybody. You just never get it out of her. Certainly not in public. This is someone who is seasoned in media training. Seasoned. Because what? She went to the University of Michael Joseph Jackson. The most media scrutinized human being ever to exist on planet Earth. That's a full, whole, truthful statement. You telling me Janet don't know how to fucking answer a political question? How to handle it? Their ass hurt because she didn't say, oh my God, I totally love Kamala. I'm totally endorsing and voting for her. That's what they wanted.
Talking about. And like you said, she lives in California. She knew this is.
Fuck you, bitch. Let's get to the next liar. Wait, more from the no neck.
Chilling. All y'all can kiss my entire ass.
Wait.
All y'all can kiss. Oh, Janet's an icon.
Wait.
Who's talking about FB?
What's he saying?
Sit out there. That's dumb. And then you ain't sat here and to also make this comment.
Wait.
If you don't know, just. And again, listen. If you don't know, just say you don't know.
That's exactly what she said. Honestly, really, I really don't know. That's exactly what the fuck she said. I'm over it. These people aren't serious, everybody. They're traitors. They're traitors.
And keep it moving.
And in my perfect world, it would be on site if we were an organized people.
Moving on Congo. But to also make this comment, get all this blowback, and then...
No, blow black. You said it right. Blow black from no-neck-ass motherfuckers like you. Tearing down a sister in public.
And you ain't sat here and So your manager issues an apology, then y'all walk the apology back? So y'all want the lie to still sit out there?
The lie that you're telling?
That's dumb. And all y'all other people, I see some of y'all fools talking about FBA and all that, and talking about, oh, Janet's an icon, Roland Martin, you shilling. All y'all can kiss my entire.
Well, that'd be a whole lot of kissing, because, I mean, just your face alone is way too much for any human being. But you are a shill. You are a shill. And he means that when he say y'all can all kiss my ass, because he doesn't need black people, because he's been taken care of by his white masters. They put this all up here, Roland Martin unfiltered and shit. You see? When's the last time he had a fucking strike on his channel for anything? You see? It'll never happen.
Talking about, oh, Janet's an icon, Roland Martin, you shilling. All
You are a shill.
y'all can kiss my entire ass.
Cause I don't cape for black people. No way. That's the rest of the statement. I don't care about black people. For me, it's just about how many pork chops I can eat and getting this money and being a fake ass Christian. I don't care about no black people. It's all about white people for me.
Yo, straight.
Because let me be clear,
You've already been clear enough, fat ass.
ain't nobody beyond getting criticized. Whether you Janet Jackson or anybody else.
Oh, okay. But you were criticized and you just told your critics to kiss your ass. So you're apparently beyond being criticized. Again, hypocrisy right in our face, everybody, in real time. Go on, fat ass.
If you say something stupid, guess what? You're gonna get called out. Go ahead, I'm a Congo.
I'm a Congo who desperately needs some hair on his face because all I see is a fucking woman sitting in front of me. I mean, my eyes are bleeding. What is it? They're saying I have clots. I have to end the video. They're telling me I have clots. I can't go on.
Yeah, so much for, all of the peace and Rhythm Nation and all of that other type of stuff she was singing about.
Really?
This is another reminder.
This bullshit that y'all are conjuring? You trying to say fuck her whole decades of fucking work? Fuck I'm a Congo, bitch. You look like a bitch.
Reminder that our entertainers are not our leaders unless they choose to get out there and do the work.
And you are not one of our leaders either, I'm a Congo, if that's even your real name.
The John Legends of the world, the people who are out there, know what they're talking about, engage in activism. And Janet Jackson, it's funny.
We're not going to hear him either. We're just confirming that they're all pieces of shit, everybody, because we don't want to take any credit where it might be due. So we have to hear their vomit.
The truth is, but the reality is, the reporter told you the damn truth.
No.
And you didn't sit here and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. Thank you for correcting me. No.
She said, I don't know. I don't want to answer it. I don't know a damn thing.
You then go on to...
You see how they're just beating this to death? And this is what's so scary. Most of our people walk away believing this shit because they've not listened to me. They're not going to critically think on their own. This is worth a lawsuit, dude. Nothing less. Nothing less. Nothing less.
Honestly, the answer to that, because I really truly don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem. What the hell are you talking about? It's going to be mayhem.
No, he's acting like he's never heard that concept. January 6th never happened, everybody. That was an AI illusion. Put it out of your mind. There was never a hearing. Nobody was arrested. Nobody got killed. It never fucking happened. The Capitol has always been perfect and never in danger. Go.
Janet, you don't even live here. You in London.
Right, and Janet is the perfect definition of what I would define as strong and wrong.
Really? Because that's how I would define your hair. Strong and absolutely wrong. All right, we're done. I'll do my dissertation or my summation, everybody. Well, first we need to see if I can find this Guardian article. And so we can find out who the fucking reporter is. Give me a second. Okay, the Guardian. So we think this might be the bitch. Nosheen Iqbal. Probably a Zionist fucking whore. Let's find out. First, let's see if we can see that portion. So apparently this was a lengthy interview. That's our son right there. That's Issa. But y'all know how we can be born really, really light and then we darken up. Because, like, no joking, you guys, I've shown you guys pictures. Like, I was a really, really yellow kid, man. Like, my God. And then, I got my color. So that's what's gonna happen to my son right there. You feel me? So don't be. I'm saying don't be distracted by that. That's my son right there and stuff. Um, let's see. This is the end. Ah, here it is. Here's the segment. Because remember they said she stage whispered. So where's the beginning that he started with? Right here. So we'll take the sentence before. It says, I wonder what internet rabbit holes she's been going down. More shade to her from this fucking writer. But before I can, ask, she moves on. And then it starts with the elimination thing. Let's see. What's the paragraph before? Well, there's all this child trafficking crap that's going on and sex trafficking crap. You know what I mean? That wasn't so prevalent then. It's a strange about turn, not least because of the many allegations of child sexual abuse made against Michael. See that's shade. The fucking writer threw that in. But it is also the most forceful she has been since we sat down. See, so this was the fucking writer throwing all sorts of shade at my fucking wife. Who is this bitch? That's what we need to find out. They're usually written by, and get this other bitch that was up at the top. Look, you could already tell. You understand? That's the bitch right there. You could tell. Look at her face. You understand what I'm telling you? We want to know who she is. Can we get a fucking Wikipedia even at this point? But she looks like one of those fucking fake me out, want to be screaming they're a Jew type people. I guess that's her dude, potentially. We don't know. But this little $3 bitch is throwing that looks like a fucking rabbit is throwing shade at Janet Jackson. So I feel like there was some jealousy involved too, trying to act like she was better than Janet some type of way. It's a sad thing, dude. It's a sad thing. It is a sad thing. Know that you are superior, black people. Know it. Know it. One thing you should never tolerate in life is having any of these motherfuckers trying to tell you you are not the shit. We're greater than all of them. Look, I interviewed Janet Jackson, you see, so she's trying to clout chase on my wife while disrespecting her. Fuck this bitch. Nobody will know who this bitch is in 5 minutes. And Janet Jackson has had a decades-long career and has been famous since she was a child. Fuck this whore. I don't need this to just take me to the fucking Guardian. Well, this is the bitch that did the interview. At least we know that. That's her bitch ass. This fucking hook nose crane fucking jealous bitch. That's what it really boils down to. And apparently, the tone of the interview, the article she wrote, like like I'm sure Janet didn't know she was gonna write all that bullshit, all the shade she's trying to throw, and drawing conclusions and shit. And so she should be insinuated in the lawsuit too, based on a little bit that we did read of the actual interview, because, um, yeah, and clearly, you know, Roland and crew have taken the cue, the memo, and they're marching it forward instead of them slamming this bitch for disrespecting one of our iconic sisters. You feel me? That's what should be happening. You see, because in my perfect world, it doesn't matter what black folks do publicly. Publicly, we never fucking disagree. Whatever they did was biblical and holy and sacred, and it was right. And then behind doors, we let you know you was some bullshit. And for those who may not be familiar with her voice, so you can understand how she probably sounded in that damn interview.
Please stop asking me questions. Don't ask me questions. Are we finished?
But how many of us knew that her father was a Jamaican economist, or what did they say he was? You understand? And you know what? Why don't we? I'll do my summation with a picture of her father on the screen. So let's get a picture of her father up in here. All right, let's get her father. Who is Donald Harris? Interesting. Her father's name would be Donald. It's just getting too spooky. I told y'all. Her sister's name is Maya. Obama has one sister. Her name is Maya. What are the? He's Obama. She's Kamala. Obama, Kamala. They both have a sister named Maya. She's running against a guy named Donald Trump, and her father's name is Donald. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Don't. So there he is, everybody. That is Donald Harris. Donald Hurst, as we would say in the hood. We'll never say Harris. Who says that shit? It's hers. Every black person I've ever known that their last name is that is hers. That's Miss Hers. That's Miss Hers. You feel me? That's Mr. Hers. We don't have time for Harris. Nobody has time for that. Ugh. I think I just lost a tooth. So that is Donald Harris. We'll just see if we can get another image of him. Depends on when you look at him. And there could have been some touching up of photos, you feel me, by the CIA and others. To try, because he looks vastly different in this picture than he does in this picture here. I know there's an age difference. I'm talking about the skin color. Like, you don't get lighter as you age, you feel me? Like, I'm just not understanding. And then there's a picture of her mother and father together. So what do we think of that? You know, I mean, again, it's inconsequential to me. I don't really care what her father is. The fact of the matter is that she represented herself as a black woman. It's just like Trump said it. And then all of a sudden she wanted to be known as black. You know, the way he said it sounded more sickening, but it was the truth that he spoke. Like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. Listen, the bottom line is, everybody, Janet Jackson, this whole thing about Janet Jackson is a hoax, a lie. I have proven to you in this piece that the charges being made against her on just the Roland Martin piece are not true. They are unsubstantiated, and I proved that. Janet Jackson made no affirmative comment or opinion about, I think that's the word we want here. She made no affirmative statement or opinion of the race of Kamala Harris. When it was brought up by in fact, we need to go back to The Guardian because we don't know how it was brought up. I think that was the context. We have the context of how it was brought up. Yeah, damn it. When it was brought up in the context from this stinking whore that did the interview, who wasn't worthy, she simply inquisitively, in an inquisitive tone, shared, knowing that what she had heard and what she was told might not be accurate. That's why she said it the way she did. And then they even put question marks behind it. I showed you that. And then she looked at the interviewer, what expectantly. That was the language that the whore that interviewed her used. So she made no affirmative statement or offered any opinion as to what the race of Kamala Harris is. And when pressed at the end about who she thought should win and all this other thing, she stated affirmatively, I don't know. I really don't know. So I don't even want to answer that question. I've proven it. There's nothing else to be said about this. Anybody saying anything else is just fucking lying to you. And at 2:41 a.m. in the morning, I think I'm going to leave it there. We will definitely be bringing this up in our live stream that I pray Allah will be able to have a live stream over the weekend, everybody. I've got some commitments tomorrow that are directly related to communication, so I don't know. Or should I say today, because now today is Friday. Well, it's not, because I always tell you, Muslims, we don't go with this, ooh, it's after 12 o'clock, it's the next day, fuck that. When the sun begins to rise in the east, that signals the start of a new day. It ain't at 12:01 a.m. Kiss my entire. Do you understand? So, it will be Friday. It is still Thursday night. It is the late night of Thursday. Now, and so, I will endeavor to try to get to be with you tomorrow if I can make some things work. If not, then I will endeavor to be with you on Saturday. On Saturday. But for now, I leave it here. There is no issue. Janet Jackson is not guilty of a fucking thing. The Jedi has spoken.